Okay, Sundar, we can start.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with welcome note. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us this Saturday to learn some awesome new technologies in Angular. We appreciate your interest. We are starting this event with a big announcement. We have started a new community called Talklify. So Talklify is a community where you can share and learn about various technologies from various experts around the world. So ng-keralam is one of the events of Talklify, which focuses on Angular. Uh, this is a virtual event we conduct every month last Saturday. So today we have two awesome speakers. So let me first thanks our speakers Ramesh and Jay for accepting the invite and being our speaker. I would like to give a short introduction about Jay and Ramesh Karthik. So Ramesh Karthik has more than 15 years of experience in software development and worked in top MNC companies as developer, tech lead, consultant, and currently as technical project manager. He has written more than 50 articles on various technologies like .NET, Angular, and Agile topics. He has been recognized as C# Corner MEP 2 times. And about Jayakumar, he is working as project lead in Haplify, a company in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. He is working in various technologies like Microsoft 365, Azure, SharePoint, .NET, SQL, Angular, and Flutter. He is also a Microsoft certified trainer, Microsoft certified developer, and also C# Corner MEP, and writes blogs in various communities. The first session is from Ramesh Karthik, and over to you, Ramesh.
Hey, Sudhir. Thanks for note. Yeah, can I share the screen now? Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Yeah, guys, let me know if you guys able to see my screen.
Yeah,
I
we can able
yeah.
to see your screen.
All right, thanks. One second. Sorry. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I would like to. Yeah. First of all, let me introduce myself. Yeah. Sundar has already provided a good introduction. Yeah. My name is Ramesh Karthik. That I'm basically from Tamil Nadu. So I have been working with IT more than 14 years. So worked with various different technologies like .NET, Angular, all other stuffs. So currently just I'm all working with .NET Core and Angular. So basically that I'm quite interested to take sessions and share whatever I have learned, and also like to learn things from other community guys. Yeah. So I would like to thank Sugas and Sundar for providing this opportunity to host this show. Definitely it could be a different it could be a good learning experience for everyone, I would say. Yeah. Thanks again for hosting this actually. Yeah, probably we can start now. So today that we are going to learn about like Angular material. So basically this Angular material whole things, it's get started from Angular 2, but today I have covered this entire topic with Angular 10. Yeah, so variety of things probably we can discuss it. Yeah, today this is the agenda. So it's quite packed for 30 to 35 minutes of agenda that I have prepared for this. So first one will start about this introduction about this Angular material, and slowly we'll get into this like what other different Angular material components is actually available from the Angular, like what is the default components that we can use for our day-to-day life. And there are I have created a basic sample application which shows which included many different Angular material controls over there, and there are certain references which that are there. Whatever I have learned, whatever I have used to create this article, I just want to share with everyone. And of course, it is source code. What I have developed for this particular show actually. All right. Yeah. Well, we can start now. All right. Yeah. So to start with, like actually the Angular material design is a tool for front-end dev framework actually for Angular JS and for Angular. So starting from Angular JS version, so this Angular material design is actually a tool for the framework developers actually. Like if you think about, like if you really want any web application which is which is really good in visual and animation, so all these things, they definitely, like I would say, people has to go into this Angular material design. It's really a good tool from Angular. So you can find a lot of variations. All you need to do is like pick and drag. Pick and choose according to your needs to the website. So just put it across all together, then you will be getting a good website for the thing. Yeah, so that's a quite introduction. There's nothing much over there with respect to the introduction. Probably we can slowly get into that. Yeah, so you can ask me like why I have included this particular picture over here. So if I want to explain this one, like no, so I already mentioned, like no, Angular material is a tool, basically a toolbox. It's a toolbox for framework developers, a framework Angular JS front end frameworks actually. Like so if you look up like lot of different controls which is already been created by Angular. Okay, so if you want to work with any list items or something, of course it is there with that. So all you need to do is open that box and take it out and put it in your website. So no, go ahead and do that actually. So if you want to use with your icons, there is another tool which is there. If you want to use with your menus, like navigating from this particular application to the next application, sorry, this particular page to the other application or other page, if you want to display the static information from this card kit of controls, lot of controls is there. If you want to segregate the pages, what I can say, if you want to segregate this page sections or layouts, then of course you have another thing called the divider. So a lot of things is actually that. This is just an introduction, probably when we slowly get into that, you will get a more idea over there. Yeah. So as I mentioned, you like know, so Angular material is also helps you to adapt to different devices and different screen sizes. When I talk about different devices and sizes, so whatever the control which is available in the Angular material, you can use it across. It is quite responsive. You can use it across different devices, be it a tab or iOS device or Android device or other different resolution, different size of things. Like you can use it across. So basically, it will adapt your screen accordingly. It's perfectly and it perfectly sits in your views the point. So you really no need to work on anything specifically over there to get it into their screen actually. Yeah, so that is one other thing. And you can the Angular apps actually it helps you to run efficiently. Like so it is, you really cannot feel like that you're actually inheriting or you're taking certain packages and using it inside. So you will really feel like that you're working as one of the core feature. You'll really think you'll get a feel like okay, this is not something an external framework or external package or something. It is one other part and parcel of our Angular framework. That is how you will be feel like it will run like anything. Like it will run as how this Angular framework is actually running. You really did not feel any from the developer standpoint. You really did not feel any difference actually from the performance perspective, from the page gets loaded perspective. So all these things like no. So I cannot explain it on that. Probably when you start using it, definitely you will see many difference actually. Yeah. And one other thing is like like Angular, the code is quite structured one. So we can segregate, we can divide all our application into modules, components, and all these things, right? As like that your components as well, as like that your control components, your control modules, all also you can structure it appropriately. If you yeah, yeah, so everything basically like this is just a directive, right? Basically this Angular material is a directive from Angular, right? So that is also like which has a different modules and components which is there. It depends upon the control that are there you are using. So you you have to use it in a structured way, obviously, like as like. And with to add to tell you another thing, you really did not feel any difference actually while you're using other framework or not. The reason is like the same way that you have to be structured, you have to be aligned with what is that actually available in the Angular. So, yeah, probably we'll get once we get into this, we'll get more details over there. And this is that I just want to give a walkthrough on this one. Yeah, yeah. So so like this is that default page for the Angular materials. Okay, so I hope that everyone will would have used it. You would have definitely walked through this one to understand what is that. Definitely would have gone through that one actually. So I'm not going to walk through every other control. It's quite really impossible to cover every other control because a lot of other controls is there. This link is already available as part of the certificate. You don't need to worry about this one. So these are all the controls which is actually available inside the Angular material. If you start with the basic control like button, right? If you want to use your button for your application, yeah, you can go ahead and click this one. You will have a plenty of features, plenty of different buttons will be there. So these are the basic buttons. Even I have used certain buttons from this particular thing. You cannot do anything actually. Like a lot of features it is there. So I'll start with the basic. And like what I can say, if you want to create a button with the raised option, stroked option, flat, or only with the icon that you want to use, a lot of different options is just, you can really play around all these things. Is that I'm not going to discuss in detail actually by considering the time. Yeah, so it will suits you and it will align you according to your styling that are there. So if you look at the code, if you want to look at the code, it is also there. So as I mentioned, right, this is the first basic button. If you want to use the basic button, you just go ahead and do this one. And this is that sorry, this is the basic button. If you want to use the basic button, please go ahead and use this one. And if you want to create a button with the primary color, I mean what we shown, right? So the primary color, so this is the one actually. So a lot of different things is actually there. You really need not to write a complex logic or something. That is, everything is actually available. So this is only from the button perspective. So if it is of stroke button, what is the syntax? Yeah, you can. So you guys, one thing I have to tell is like for this material things, every other control which starts with mat hyphen. Okay, if it is of mat hyphen divider, that we are actually talking about divider. If it is of button, that's how you have to put this mat hyphen raised button. This is the raised button. So basically the art how these guys are written on is on top of our regular HTML button, they have written on top of it. So if you write mat raised button, this framework will automatically understand, okay, this is something which will go to your Angular framework and will pick your right design or right thing from your framework and put it in your screen. So that is how it's actually working. So you can definitely get into this link is already available and you can find it easily from your Google. All you need to put just Angular material. Okay, so this is that.
Hi,
And yeah,
Ramesh, sorry to interrupt. Like you can click on
yeah.
that hide thing, that toolbar on the bottom. Like there's a button
Oh,
hide, right?
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, is
yeah,
that fine now? Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Fine,
Yeah, yeah,
thanks.
sure. Thanks, no problem. Yeah. So like this is pretty much information that if you want to understand from this button perspective, and CSS and everything is there actually. So to learn with, to I don't know that how many of you, the guys who are there here, is just beginners or who just going to start. Probably it will not be helpful for the one who already have been working with Angular for long, but you can use these styles as well. Like you can play around with all these styles which is there associated with that. Okay, this is with respect to the button. I'm just quickly get into this other controls as well. If you can take the other basic control, which is checkbox, right? Without the checkbox, there is no other web page will not be there, right? So yeah, so again, if you talk about this checkbox as well, you can find the mat hyphen checkbox. So this is mat is another than material checkbox. So the material checkbox, again, if you put the syntax over there, then it will automatically take it to your Angular material package and will give you the appropriate control into your webbox, into your website actually. Okay, so if we can quickly cover this one, again, this is, as I mentioned, there is nothing different there. Only thing is, in the place of mat button, you can find this mat checkbox here. Okay, so if it is of disabled button, if it is of disabled checkbox, or is enabled checkbox, so all this lot of logics is there. But I'm not going to cover every other control in our application. I have covered few things but not entirely. But what I have did so far is like whichever the control I have not covered in that application, I'm covering here actually. All right, so you can make use of it. So just if you want, like when you're learning that, just copy and paste it into your screen. This will start working. This will start working. This all these values which will come from your TypeScript, that is something different. If you want to create a basic checkbox, actually this would make sense. This would play like anything. Okay, so this is the quick walkthrough from the checkbox perspective. And yeah, so there's a lot of other samples could be, you can see like if you want to create a disabled one and checked one, like see here, this is disabled actually. If you want to uncheck, this is unchecked. So basically like it's disabled but it's an unchecked actually. So if you want to enable this one, it is there. So a lot of things is there, how it is actually running based on the code, which is whatever we have. So if you put the same code in your website, it will start working. So it's, that's what I'm saying, it's quite easy to create any individual control on your web page. Like there's a lot of other things is that just all you need to copy and paste this Angular working is the Angular material is works with Angular package really well. Okay, so that you believe it or not. Yeah, so these are all things, I don't want to get into this details of it. Yeah, and then checkbox, and then everyone have to use this control is the date picker. Yeah, so the date picker again, I just want to, I'm not going to take more time, just a quick walk through here. So this is a basic date picker. You can see it, you can feel it, like what are the different controls which is actually available in this material. So you can find the smoothness inside that one, so quite smooth and fast as well. You really cannot find it feel like that you're working in a web. So that how this experience, this Angular material experience actually will provide you. Yeah, so that's what. And yeah, so there are other controls, like if you want to give a manual date, is just the one. So let's quickly go through the code here. Yeah, yeah, so this is the basic control, basic date picker control. And with you want to look at the code here, yeah, it is there. Yeah, that's what. It's quite same one as I mentioned again. No, like if you want to go with this, the mat hyphen date picker is the syntax that you have to provide actually. Yeah, you can put it in anywhere in when a div field or in the mat form field. You can put in place it in anything that will adapt you. It suits you like anything. There are a lot of other controls is there. See, this much of controls, this much of options which is actually available in the date picker alone. Okay, so it may varies, right? So from the application to application it varies from the according to the features. So, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, so this is something like it selects that particular date. If you want to look at the code, yeah, just click this one and you'll get the complete code been there. And you can this is everyone can understand. Okay, so there's nothing complex is there. You can easily understand what is actually happening inside that one. Yeah, so that is that. And I just want to cover the one last thing, which is tabular. Okay, we'll sorry tabs. Okay, we'll quickly get into this next section after that. Yeah, so yeah, without the tab again, no other application is will not cannot survive actually. So this is the basic tab, so where you can see like, so this is the basic tab with the animation. If you do not want an animation, that's fine, you can remove that one. So you can see one other, oh sorry, I clicked the wrong code, I believe. Sorry, window. Sorry, what it, I think I selected a different one. I'm sorry, yes, one second. One second, let me. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we're not going to get into the details of it. Yeah, if you click F11, we'll give the full. Yeah, so this is something like if you want to look at the code of this particular tab, of course we have to put it everything the tab group and tab. This is with the information whatever you are going to supply it. If you don't want any animation, that you can disable it. So according to that, a lot of different options which is there. I'm just giving a walkthrough. It's really difficult to get into the details of every other control and every other option, but still that is also not complex logic, it is there. Yeah, you can see it here, what are the different things is there. There's no animation here, that's what I mentioned. No, you cannot see any animation. This is very slow animation, slowly you can see. Okay, yeah, so this is nothing, just a label with animation. Okay, this little sometimes few of them may think this animation might annoying, so this may not make sense here. Yeah, this is that one. And there are certain other things we can if you want to load certain stuff asynchronously, like if you are loading 5000 records, like the loading mechanism is obviously different. Then you have to look at this code. There are a lot of different options is there to load your data into your tab to get things like, because holding the tab from the for the user will doesn't make sense. Yeah, these are all things that probably you can get into the details of it. Okay, yeah, we'll quickly get into this next stuff. I'm not going to take more time. Yeah, so this is all about this Angular components, sir. I'm not yeah, so this is just a walkthrough about it. What are the different components are there, how much different categories you can play all around that one. And I'm just hiding this guy. Yeah, yeah, all right. So this is another app, okay, I've just created for this particular session, just using this Angular material. I have played with multiple controls over there. See, this is just for a demo purpose, okay. Don't take it seriously, this is a Corona app. So just to understand the this is just to propagate, this is just to give the report of like how much the affected cases, newly infected cases, what is the trend over there. So basically it's just a basic app. You cannot see any other data to get integrated, any other things got integrated with server, just a static data which I got updated in the service itself. Yeah, probably I'll show you the code walkthrough. So this is the one that we are going to play around today. Okay, yeah. So if you ask me, whatever I have discussed, right? So this is the in this application I have used this much of controls. Okay, so let's discuss in detail over there. Okay, if you think about this header part alone, okay, I have used this toolbar row, list item. So these are all the controls that I have used. Okay, only for this header component, only for this header. Okay, and this, if you look at the sidebar, okay, there are three things is there. One is material drawer container, material drawer, and drawer content. Okay, this is something which is used for only for sidebar purpose. Actually, if you click at this one, this guy will move out, move in, and come back. Okay, so kind of toggle logic is actually there when you click this menu. Probably I'll show it once I loaded this application. And this is a bit, something about we have used the height chart to display the current information, current cases information, current trend of like across the world. Don't take it seriously, this numbers is just for demo purpose. I have just uploaded whatever I came to my mind. And this is another target how this trend is actually setting up. So one other thing is there, it's a pie chart. Probably I did not cover the screenshot, but you can look at it, you can see it in the application. Okay, yeah. So you don't need to worry about this application. I'll give you that GitHub URL. Probably you can play it out after the session as well. Okay, yeah. So these are all the controls. Actually, I'll tell you one other thing. So this mat icon is quietly tied up with this particular component, and height chart, and lot of things is there, right? So do you think all these controls actually sits up individually? No, right? So everyone has every other parent to take care of it, right? Every other control whatever I listed over here, if you think about, if you think about the edges without the Angular edge, you could see only this much of control, this set of controls only in the HTML page. Lot of things get scattered over there. It's difficult to figure out, right, what is actually happening, which control. If you want to move out, figure out what in the chart one, the third chart or something, how will you inspect, right? Click inspect. So if you look at the code also, like no, a lot of JS files will be there. It's difficult to understand, right? So now here with the Angular help, with the Angular edge, now we have tied up all this. We have parked all these controls, each and every control. We have given certain responsibilities, certain components. Okay, right. So this is one like actually. So what we discussed, right? The header, what are the what are the controls are there in the header I talked about, right? The mat toolbar row, mat list item, right? So all these actually comes under and sits in header component. That makes sense, right? So basically these controls has to sit, we have to create a common name. We have to create a component, right, for this particular control. So all these controls, whatever you are seeing in this header, will come under header component. Okay, so the header component will have the complete control of like your HTML logic, your TypeScript logic, and all style sheet logic. Okay, so I'll look at the detail in the source code, but definitely before you get into the source code, you have to understand what is there from the high level view, right? Then you'll get the things get things clear. Okay, yeah, so slowly we'll get into this next component, which is sidebar control. This is a sidebar control, right? This sidebar control, what are the things are there, like what is needed here? What if you look at here, right? So navigation, correct? So navigation, so if you click this post, something should navigate. If you click articles, some other page should form. So what is actually needed for this navigation? For the navigation, what is needed in this Angular material, which is mat nav, correct? So I told you, right? So sometime before we so right, for the navigation purpose, for anything the respect it starts with mat, but this is the navigation purpose, you can see nav. So this I have parked all these controls, this nav list, divider is nothing but this small line. Okay, this small line, this is just to give some vertical space or horizontal space to your web page. Okay, so this is the controls, like nothing much is there, only three controls are there I have used in this particular component, and tied up with which component, this sidebar component. Okay, and this is from the component first, and one other component is there, that's a default component, right? So what I can say, when you click this component is something different. By default, when the page gets loaded, correct? So by page gets loaded, so your dryer has to get opened and show your controls, right? For that, actually I have parked certain controls in the default component. Okay, and that couple of other components which is there, one is this particular thing, which is the area component. This guy will shows only the area of like how much the trend is, how from the country base, from the different places, like how this data is actually improving, how the trend is actually going, right? So this is being driven by high chart. So this is one other control where I have tied up, where I have put it into this, into area component. Okay, and same thing like this chart component as well, I told you, right? The chart component is one other component which is for which is there for pie chart also. Okay, so this is this particular from the comp, you have to understand clearly like how these controls are actually aligned with the components, right? So I'll repeat again, just a summary. So this first one is header component. Header border component will have three controls, and if you look at the sidebar control component, if you have three controls, one is nav list, divider, and list item, and the third one is about other components like a area component and um, high chart components actually. Okay, yeah, all right. So next one is like we can see how this is actually getting tied up with the module, because module is also important, right? So I don't know like how everyone will aware, probably I'll give a clean walkthrough of what is module. Also the module is a logical grouping of your components, right? That's how it is working, right? So all the controls, the HTML controls or other Angular controls will tied up with this component. So all the components will work together with the modules, correct? So if you think about this one, I'll just go back here. So if you think about um, while creating your web page, which are the things actually common here, right? uh, like this header is going to be common, right? This footer is going to be common, and this sidebar probably going to be common, right? So this has to be used across every other click, across every other page, right? So this is going to be standard, this view is going to be the standard, correct? So then why can't we put this into the shared model, correct? So that is why the something, this header, the sidebar, according to me I have designed, so these controls are going to be the same, these components are going to be the same across all the pages, right? Across throughout the web application, throughout the application, this is going to be the same, this has to be, then why can't we share it across? Okay, then I have parked these control, header, sidebar, and one other component called footer, I did not add it here. So all these controls are components are parked under shared module. So this guy will have the whole amount of information, then only the shared module registration will only sits with the app module. Okay, I'll show it in the code. I'm sorry, I don't know, like I'm taking more time here in the explaining the slide itself. Yeah, so we'll quickly get into that one. Yeah, okay, so that's what one other component also I missed here. That is something, the dashboard component. Okay, so I told, right, this is header and footer, sidebar. One other component is dashboard. So this guy is dashboard component. This guy is responsibility to what, like show this chart, area chart and show this cards actually, right? All these things, right? So this is how it is. Actually, I have categorized my application. Okay, so four controls components is there. One is header, one is sidebar, and one is footer. I did not show it here. And third one is dashboard component. Dashboard component will work when you click that dashboard. Okay, so that when what are the things will get loaded when you click the dashboard. First one is app widget area. The area, what is there, the control, or is only your area chart, only your high chart it is there. And this the down one, what is there, you have only cards actually. Okay, yeah, that's what. So probably it's just I'm not going to take more time here. So this is component, probably who are new to this Angular world, like it's just a component. What are the things which will be there in the component, right? So in the component, like you will be having a couple of things, like one is the template, right? And what template I have to render this one, what template, right? What is the layout of it, what is the layout of that particular component? Okay, what are the what right? The Angular works only with the TypeScript, right? After Angular 1.5 version, Angular JS version, everything is work with TypeScript, right? So what are the classes, what are the properties is there, right? So those things which you can write it in the TypeScript and put it over there, which is in the TypeScript file. So this is the HTML page, and this is a TypeScript page, and one other thing is style sheet is also will be there. So basically this is a pack, the component is a pack. The component will have information about how the layout has to, will be there to load the page, how the data has to be structured and set it in your page, what is the style of it, right? This is nothing but your component. Probably it will be helpful for the one who was uh, uh, seeing this Angular as first time. Okay, this session. Yeah, then again the module is also, right now this module is the higher one. Every other component will sit into this module. As I mentioned, right, the component will have the HTML code and the service, all these things will sit up over here. Okay, yeah, that is what this is something for to uh, understand, for the better understanding, I have created this one. So this is, I told you, right, every Angular package, every Angular application, right, you will be having one thing called app module. App module is the default module, app module is the first module, right? So that is where this whole application is will get started, correct? So how I have created, how I have segregated here, which through things. One is default module, one is shared module. I told you, right, the header component, footer component, sidebar, area. This could be, this can be useful, this can be shared across all the pages, right? Then I have put it in the shared module. Then I don't need to I should not put it in the different module. So logically I grouped all these things into the shared module. Probably when you are going to create any web page or something, right, you have to figure out which are the things actually going to be common across all the pages, across all the application. Figure it out those things and write it. Probably this kind of diagram would help you to understand, to design your product much more, right? So rather directly getting into the code, write this kind of diagrams actually, it will help you, right? So I'll type in this shared module. And then default module, what is the default module? When you load your module first time, what is get loaded, the default, you saw, I shown, right, the default module is the first one, the left side, the dashboard component, post component. So the page, to load the page, to load the application, what are the components is needed, will get to the default module. All this will get tied in the app module. Okay, I'm going to take more time here. Okay, so to install it, okay, what you have to do is like ng add in Angular material. And there are certain things, see, this is only for my demonstration purpose I have added. Okay, this is not something that you have to think about, like for run Angular material all this is actually needed or not. To run Angular material, you just need only the first line. Okay, so second to third is my I have decided. If you want, like according to your design, you can decide it across. Okay, yeah, probably I'll share it with you, then you'll get more details over there. Yeah, so this is something like probably what we can do. We'll quickly get into this source code rather discussing about here, then I'll tell you what is that. Okay, this is about this just references. Yeah, all right. So for any questions, sorry, I did not ask. Probably I did not give any opportunity to others to talk. Actually, yeah. If you guys have any questions or anything, yeah, please feel free to talk about it. Yeah, we'll quickly get into this one. I'll before. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. So this is the application that I was talking about. This is running in my local. Okay, so you can see it over here. Before we show the code, I'll tell you what is that. So this is I told you, right? One is the default component. What is the default component? Whatever it loads. So this whole thing is one component. Okay, this is called dashboard component. Okay, I don't know how you guys able to figure it or not. This whole section will be in a dashboard component, because this is where if I click this component, it will load. If you click this particular component, nothing will be there. Okay, if you click on that, I did not write anything basically. Okay, so this is the whole thing actually. Okay, so I have categorized accordingly. This header is going to be there, the sidebar and the dashboard component. Yeah, so we'll get into this thing. Yeah, so if you look at that source code, right here, I'm going to start with this your dashboard component. Probably we can start, sorry, we can start with header. Yeah, yeah. So header, right? So what is there? So you can look by looking at the what is there on that. I'm trying to correlate what is there in the application, how I have written the code. Okay, so this is just a header, right? So any particular application, the header is needed to design the header. What is actually needed, right? What is actually needed? So if you ask if you ask me, like there are certain login options, sign out options, there are certain things, those things are actually needed, right? And also you will be having features like to display your title of your application. That is important, right? So anything to play with, I mean, you have to tell, you have to explain, you have to tell the application like what is the title. So to explain your application information, for that actually the header is needed here, right? So for that actually what you have to do, you have to create a mat toolbar. Okay, so mat toolbar is the container. Okay, mat toolbar is the one who you can use for your to place your all your header related information, be it a title, be it a menu, be it an icon, whatever it is actually, like, no, the first thing which is needed here is mat toolbar. That's the reason I have desired, I have kept mat toolbar. It is a in particular thing, it's a container for headers. Okay, headers, titles, or actions. Like if you see here, see what is that, what is there here, header is there, it's a Corona app, just I have that. If you, so this is the title here, and there is some settings like if you want to log out, right? So these are all things actually, like, no, what I can see, it's a container for your header related information. So to hold that, the what is the container then? That's a mat toolbar is a container. Mat toolbar is the one which holds the end to end of this. So this guy, I told you, right, this is the header component. This entire page is written only to display this particular section. Okay, the first is I have created the mat toolbar. The color is primary, you can choose whatever it is. So the next one is the first. Always when you create a mat toolbar, the first thing you have to do is mat toolbar row. Okay, in 99% on your cases, like your first thing is going to be mat toolbar row only. Okay, so you have to create on the 99% is no one is going to create a multiple toolbar. Maximum only one toolbar will be there. So in our application also, you can find only one control, which is mat toolbar. And then after that, what you can see is the button. So what is there in that inside the button? So basically under the button you can see something called mat icon. Okay, basically what is there is the icon is actually represented in the form of button actually. Okay, so that is that here. Okay, so if you look at here, so this is a menu, this is the menu icon. Okay, so this is on top of it, it's a wrap basically under the inside the button that we have created a mat icon here. Okay, you can go on and change it accordingly. If you can go on and do all these things, it will automatically change it. If you select home, right? So let's get loaded. One second. Yeah, so here it's get loaded. Okay, so this is one other thing basically, like, no, you can put whatever the icon you want and put it that. If I remove this button, right, what I'll do, if I remove this button alone, you cannot feel like you are having holding the button. You will not get a feel like only the icon will be there. Probably I don't know what time was there alone. If you comment this one, only the text will be there. That will not look good, right? So that is something. I'll quickly move on this next thing. So what is this? This is a flex layout. So basically I told you, right, the layout is actually needed, right? So for this particular component I have created a layout. Why I need to create a layout, right? So the layout is needed to organize the list of child element inside the parent container. Okay, or how we have to determine how we can relate each other child elements with the parent container, right? So here is something like we have, this is the under the toolbar we have another container called layout. There I have parked these guys. One is this settings and push this one, and this log off. Okay, all these things I created. What I have asked here, so create this list of child elements. So one is this particular button with the settings icon, one is this other button we have help outline, and the third one is like, so create all these child controls under this layout, okay, with a gap of 20 pixel each, okay, and park at the end. So in this layout you have to align it at the end. If I go on make it a center, it will come here, it will come here. That will that's not my need, right? So basically that is there. So I can do something. So there are other possible values is there. This header is something like which sits in the top. So basically like no, it's a row. So that's the reason it's row. By default in this layout is actually taking the row. If I can go and change this column, then it will start showing in a different way. And I'm not going to change it now because then it will take more amount of time. This is about the what is the FX layout gap. So the layout gap between the gaps of between these controls. What is the gap between these controls? You have to decide. If you can probably and go and change it with the 40 pixel. I don't want. You can play it with the 40 pixel. Okay, you can go and do that actually. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you can see some the difference is little high, right? So I have increased accordingly. If you can remove this guy, then it will come in this place. So this is only about like the header part. Okay, and I'm going to show one other thing from the toolbar perspective. I'll just hold on here. I'll tag it. Yeah, probably 1 second. Yeah, sorry, just hold on. One other thing, see, I told you, right? So in this application I have created only one row under the toolbar, only one row which is there. If you want to create a multiple row, yeah, you have an option is there. You can go ahead and do that. See here, there are a lot of options is there. I did not choose it, but you can go ahead and do that. Everything else is there. You can go ahead and click the view code, get that. If you click this one, the same amount of code, you can see it over here, right? Yeah. And one other thing I did not show you here. Okay, and also I have created another option. This, if you click this one, this will, I don't want to that sidebar will be available all the time, right? That's not required. So I just click there, the slide bar goes up. What is that logic which is sits there, right? So that is button, right? Basically I told you, right, that's a button. So the button is having a sidebar click. So that guy, what it will do here, i just created a I just created a no, sorry. So this is not the right yes, yeah. Yeah, so what I have did, I just click the event resize and do that actually. So basically like the uh, uh, basically like no, this mat icon will go away. So and then the whole other stuff will get refreshed with the current size. So that is that actually. So basically this is for that particular process. So any clicks that you want to create, go and do that and call that particular thing appropriately. Okay, so any questions so far in this header component alone? Probably we can quickly cover the other components. Okay, just spark me if anything. And one other thing I really want to show with you guys, this is mat icon. Okay, so I told you, right? So this link, if you take this one, you can find thousands of icons which is there. Okay, okay, whatever you want to do, like if you want this icon to be in your thing, okay, go ahead and do this. Just put this DNS here, start it and run it accordingly. Okay, lot of things is there. Okay, you can go on, and this is the resource actually which is needed for any of the icons. If you need, what you have to do, mat hyphen icon and put this over there. Okay, and then everyone can start use of it. Yeah, by the time we'll see here, this whole thing got changed here. Okay, yeah. So I just want to quickly cover that one. And what is else is needed here is yeah, I think I pretty much covered here. You guys have any questions so far? Yeah, yeah, if no questions, I can move on to this next component, which is sidebar component. Okay, so sidebar is again I'll show you this one. You can see it here. So this sidebar is, I told you, right, this just a sidebar control. This is a sidebar component where I have couple of things. One is mat navigation list. Okay, so this navigation list is important when you have different list of when you have different set of controls on your page on your component, but you want to also take that particular control get navigated to the different things, different pages, right? There you can go for this mat nav list. Okay, so here is according to my need what I have created. I just created a div for this to show my name and profile picture over there. This is only for the profile section. For that, for which what I have done, I just put some basic divs over there. Nothing else is here. This is plain HTML control. You might have aware of it. Okay, and this is important. The mat divider. The mat divider is something like, no, I told you, right? It will give you one line. It will give you one clear line over there to segregate, to divide the sections on your web pages, right? Wherever you want to have your sections to be divided, go ahead and put this one. Nothing else. This will create one line over there. Okay, there are, I don't want to get into the details of it. So you can, if you want to draw this line in vertical, yeah, you can. Some option is there. You can refer it in Angular. If you want to put it in the horizontal, yeah, that is also an option is there. Yeah, let me quickly get into this. This is the pages, right? So this pages is the header page. So I have so you have to use this mat subheader. Mat subheader, if you put this one will give a header over there. And there are three list items. What is that three list items? I told you, right? So these three list items is the dashboard, post, and articles, right? So dashboard, posts, and articles, correct? So if you click this component, we have to load the appropriate component, correct? If you click this particular post, I have to load this particular component, correct? See this dashboard is getting loaded. How I have to tell? This is the routing link. I have kept that as a routing link for this dashboard. Okay, so like what is this router link active here? Okay, when the routing is getting activated for this particular route, and the color, whatever the style sheet that you have applied here, actually I did not apply. Whatever you have applied, this list item active, right? That color will change. If you want, if you select this one, I did not select any color, then if you want to select this thing in a different color, you can do that. So that is something about this one, router link active. You can use it for other purposes also, like what method, what menu you have selected, all these things actually. Okay, so this is one other way to list your controls. This is one other way to list your user selections. Okay, for example, like I have other options as well to do that. One second, I just walked it to the test file. So just for the matter of time perspective, uh, yeah, what I'll do, let's see like what we can do. I'll simply put it into this here. Okay, the sidebar component now. Let's try to load a different set of things. Okay, you have you do, yeah. Okay, sorry, yeah. So this, what this is actually, this is one other way to do list your navigations, right? This is one other way what we can do, like from link of links. Basically, this links have the collection, this links have the information of what other menus which is available. Then we are going to learn it. Okay, you can do it other way also. This is not that, don't think this is the only way. A lot of other ways is there according to your logic that you can go and do that. So but make sure this link is links have the values in your page, in your TypeScript file. I have added here this link has portal admin, just I have added over there. So this is any keyword that I have added. So this has the information. What we will see like quickly, if you say, well, what will happen? Just give me a 10 second. Yeah, see this are getting loaded. Yeah, so if you add your route, then it will start working accordingly. Okay, so this is that actually important. So a lot of other options is there. By considering the time, I'm not able to show it everything. But one other thing is that you have to understand. See, there are certain things you don't want to click. You don't want to go into the different route, but you want to trigger a particular selection. This will play them. Okay, so I'll just give me one thing. I'll do that also. Okay, yeah, so uh, I'm selecting this one, in this guy. Okay, so what it shows under the mat action list, what it means, like mat action, what are the controls that you're placing under this list, what are this in this list, what are the controls that you're placing, that should be a action triggered one, action generating one. Okay, so let's see like how we can, I don't know whether I have added this ts, yeah, it is there actually. Okay, if you can check this one, that is also you can do. So the learning here is like, no, there are a lot of different ways is there to list your items actually. Okay, so here see this, say clicked, so and sorry, under click, so you can write your actions accordingly, okay, based on your node. Okay, so that is something about. And one last thing, you can find whatever we discussed. I have one other divider I have created. The reason why is I need the divider here. Okay, so I just created this one. Then what else, I just want this contacts and phone. Okay, what I have done, then as I mentioned, right, whenever that you want to trigger or the route link is actually there needed for any list item activity, that you have to put this route link attribute here. Okay, if you want any particular list item to be a route enabled one, okay, there you have to get router link with your route option. I did not configure this route, but this is important attribute for you. Okay, and like if you have any styles been there, then you can go ahead with this particular option. At this point I have selected this. This is import contacts and I have told you, right, see here, see one other option, see import contacts icon. If you just click, put this word alone, what this mat framework will automatically understand, okay, you need this particular icon. Okay, if you put this contact phone, this mat framework will automatically understand, okay, you need the phone icon. Okay, so which is there actually. Okay, so so you can, according to that, you can take it accordingly. Okay, yeah. So for anyone have any questions for, yeah, so nothing else is there in the footer. Okay, I just put it like that. No other logics you can find. So these are all the shared modules. Okay, so all these modules, one thing I'll, before I go for, you can see it, I have registered here, which is in the shared module. Okay, or I have registered, you can see this header component, footer component, all these things I have registered. If you look at all other components which is needed, right, Angular material components which is needed for these components also I have registered here. And you also have to declare an import also. Okay, so this is something you can refer. So something you, if you want to export, there are certain things like header bar component and other components which has to be used across all the page, web application, right? So there you have to put it in the export as well, right? This is the pretty much configuration for the SAD. And then we'll quickly cover the next one, which is a dashboard. Okay, I'll just need a 5 more minutes. Yeah, see here. So this is the main picture now. Okay, what is there so far? We have covered this one, what is the header and how we have the buttons, and how we have aligned all other controls, how the sidebar we have created, how the navigation list we have created, how the routing we have enabled, what how we can divide the space, how we have actually this contact icons and something we have brought it from the mat icon. This is something a dashboard component. This whole thing is a dashboard component, sir. Okay, this whole page is, okay, I don't know you're able to hear. Yeah, so this whole component is a dashboard. The first section is something about the widget area. Yeah, I'll show you here. Okay, here, see, this is just about the first section. Okay, this app widget area, for this alone I have created a separate component. Okay, so under which, under the dashboard component, you will be getting one, you will be seeing one other component. What is that name? It's a widget component. What is, where is that widget component? Also sits it here. Okay, I'll show you. This is the area component. Okay, so here I have done only the area chart. You can see only the area, the chart only, right? This particular component, nothing else is here. I told you, right, only the area chart is there. Okay, so here what I have done, so the chart, high charts is chart is I'll show you this link. Okay, so that's one other Angular package which is actually available. Probably I'll show it right away, which is there here. Yeah, you can go to this link and you will get it. You will probably I'll show it right away. Yeah, so the lot of charts features is just there. This is the one. What you can do is just simply copy this code. Okay, and this is how I did it. Okay, yeah, so you put it into your TS. Okay, I have removed certain other things which is not required, but it's up to you, like how you want to have it. Okay, so let's go into the details. Okay, this is something, this component is actually responsible to show only the chart. What are the thought, like there are certain other information which is coming from the other areas, other CSS as well. So that's what. So one is something data, the data which has to come from where, the dashboard component. The parent component is something who, which is the parent component here, the dashboard component, correct? The dashboard component is the one which is invoking this widget component, area component. Those guy only have to provide the data, correct? So we are just going to receive that information, which is called data component. Okay, for that only. So data, where are we going to supply that one? Here we are going to supply. This is going to supply this data, where you can see. I'll tell you, just give me a minute. Okay, yeah. So where we are actually invoking this quantity component, from here we are invoking. So this is the data we are providing the so from your dashboard component, you are asking a widget, area, go and get load this one with the information of this from dashboard, right? So this big chart is just coming from where, the dashboard service. So dashboard service will provide you the chat information. Okay, I have put everything under over there actually. Where is that dashboard service over there? You can see it here. Okay, so this is something, where is that big chart? Some random numbers, okay, don't mind it. So just I have hard coded certain values. So if in your actual project, what you have to do, you have to make a third party service call from here. This is where the place where you have the service call to get the information. Okay, this is the dashboard service. So this dash, from this dashboard service, you will be getting that the big chart information that I'm passing it in the way, in the form of data, that will come to here. Okay, that will come here, that will receive here. Okay, we will receiving that one and assign it to this particular chart. This series is something that is one of the parameter for chart options. What is the chart option? Chart options is something like a, it's a, it's a chart options from the high chart options actually. Okay, so we have to provide the information in the chart options, that actually what is the chart type, data, subtitle, all these things. If you want to give, right, you can give it here. And this guy, what will do, like he will enable it, he will enable it. Okay, so this is the high chart information. What other options? Okay, so basically what is important is this one, this high chart. So you have to, if you want to use that chart, you have to put this line, import star as high chart from this high chart. This is another package you have to install. I mentioned in this slide as well. You have to install it and then use the same thing in your thing, in your variable, and put it into this binding. You have to bind that particular thing, otherwise it will not work. Okay, this is most important parameter for this particular guy. So you're asking this directive to lower the high chart with the options we have provided. Where is that options? This options is again, it sits here. I am only telling, so I have the complete control, right? So I have asked, okay, this is the option that are there. Okay, this is only for the options, the chat perspective. Okay, this is first component that I have covered here. Okay, what I need then, next I need a divider here. I need to segregate. No, I have placed a divider here. Okay, so this is the divider here. Okay, and then I told you, right, whenever I'm going to create a row or something, I'm going to use the layout to segregate the spaces, or to organize the child elements inside that particular row. So again, I have created a layout here. What is the purpose of this layout? I have to align two to three different controls inside this. Which are the controls? This is the different controls over there. Okay, mat card 1, mat card 2, mat card 3, mat card 4, all this. So if you look at the newly infected, this is one other thing. So secured, this one, number of dates, all so this is just the same component I have called multiple times over here, because this is the dashboard component, correct? Yeah, so one, I'm just explain one control and I'll close it. Okay, sorry. So this is the app widget card. Again, I'm going to call the different component, which is called app widget card. Okay, so this is the another shared component which sits under this widget as like our area component. Okay, so where is that? You can see it here, widget here. So here also I'm passing, what are the things I'm passing? So label. So to load this guy, to load this directive, what is important here is label information. How much is the total, how much is the percentage, right? And also I have binded certain values called cards from the service. So again, like if you look at this dashboard, I have also loaded certain other things. Okay, yeah, so this cards also from where it is coming, service. The service you can see here. Okay, you can see this cards. I'm just returning some hard-coded data. Okay, so this is coming via here from this particular cards and this dashboard component. Okay, and it will be passed to this widget card. So this is this particular component. Okay, so here actually you can see here. Okay, how much is the total we passed there, no, what is the label, how much is the total, how much is the percentage trending. So again I just use the widget here. Okay, the same logic whatever I have discussed. So this is the only thing. So it's a repetitive, probably you can have a look on it, but considering the time I'm just quickly running it. So these are the like app widget I have called multiple times. Okay, with a gap of 25 gaps. This gap I have aligned all these four controls over here. Okay, all these are mat cards. So all these mat cards are useful when you want to display your starting information or any other information that you want. Okay, I'm quickly covered one other thing. So one other chart is also there, which is pie chart. Probably you can see it from the code. This same thing as usual, that same thing whatever I explained. So this also sits under this dashboard component. If you can go down, you can find this guy. Okay, so this is a pie chart. I'm not going to explain this. This is the same as slides one. Yeah, so that's pretty much information I have for. See this dashboard again. Under the dashboard component, you have three different components. One, this is one component, and this is one other component, and this is another component. Three different components I have loaded here. Okay, and there are certain inbuilt controls here. This is how this application is actually grown up, and there are certain other features also there here. If you want to view, if you want to download, so all these options are actually available as part of that package. As soon as we enable this export option, it will come here. Okay, yeah, so that's it from my side. Sorry, one other thing, I'm just quickly checking if anything. So I have added this, all this whatever I have discussed. No, whatever, if you want to understand list of icons in this mat icon, you can look for this URL through flex information. Okay, divider information, all this I have added here. Okay, so then and one last thing is, yeah, so you can find this whole source code of this particular sample in this location. I can take it from there. This lab list, all these details where I have took this high chart. Okay, so you can find the code over there, complete code. You can take it from there in the pie chart itself. As I said, yeah. So that's um, yeah, that's an information from my side. That's the only thing that I have prepared now. So for you guys have any questions, yeah, please go ahead and ask. We can discuss that one. Yeah. So, anyone have any questions?
Okay, so I think there are no questions till now, so we shall wait for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely.
And thanks for the session, Ramesh. So it was it was kind of beginner session as well as saying both the what is a component and a module. It was kind of good. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
that.
thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll just over to you guys. You can take it from here, huh? Thank you
Yeah,
everyone for
okay,
attend the session. Thank you so much for arranging and hosting this session as well. Thanks a lot. Yeah, just over to Sugas and Sundar who are here. Just stop sharing the screen.
yeah,
1 second.
okay.
Yeah, you can take it here.
Okay, so once again, thanks Ramesh. So thanks for that session. So next up, we have Jayakumar. He'll no he'll show us like how we can add Azure App Insights to your Angular app. Maybe he might have an introduction about what is Azure and App Insights. So we'll see what is that App Insight, and we'll see how it benefits our Angular application when we add Azure App Insights. So over to you, Jayakumar.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sukas. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can I start?
Yeah, you can start, Jayakumar.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sukas. So, hello, good evening, all. So today we are going to see about how do we add Azure App Insights to our Angular app. So before we start with, I would like to thank Suhas and Sundaram for organizing this initiative, this great community in ng-keralam, and keep on continuing the events for every month. And thanks for inviting me as a part of this community for this month. So basically, I hope you all have got introduction about myself from Sundaram, but it's again the same. I am myself Jayakumar. I am working as a product lead at Apply. So I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and a certified developer, and I'm a Shisha Corner MVP. So let's get into the topic. So what is a uh, so this is going to be our agenda for today. So we'll be seeing like what is Azure Application Insights and what does this insights do monitor for us in our applications, and where do we can see our all the metrics like application insights. In the sense there will be a lot of insights, like either it can be request responses or any tracking the errors, or if tracking the performances. There are a lot of things are there. So where can we find all these telemetrics in our Azure Application Insights? So then we'll see what are the key benefits using Azure Application Insights. Then we can see how we can integrate in Angular app at the end. We'll have a demo also for the same. So before we start with, so I hope you all know about Azure. It's a cloud platform, so which is a leading contributor. So in the cloud platform. So now, what is Azure Application Insights? So the application insights are usually, as you know, it is usually to keep track of our applications, live applications. So what are the insights that we will capture usually? Like we'll be doing performance, or we'll be doing any analytics of how the server is responding, or how is there any errors are coming, or from where the users are accessing, what is the load. So all these kind of things comes under insights, something like telemetrics. So what do we need to do? So basically, in our on-premise services, what we will be doing we'll be using some hardware, and also we'll be doing some lot of codes in our application to track all these inputs. Like, so we need to log everything, and we need to capture all the inputs. But in nowadays, no one is doing all these coding. It's completely automated right away, and it's as a pay-as-you-go model. So application insights do that benefits for us. Not only it does for server application, it is also for client application. That's why we are going to see how we can do it for a single page application called Angular. So usually we can track it easily, like from which server it is being hitting and what is the server response and request if we use any server-side application. But how do we do it in a single page application like an Angular? So that's what we are going to do. And Azure Application Insights going to do and track all these tracks for us automatically. So basically, this Azure Application Insights is available for mostly for all the platforms like .NET, Node.js, or either Java or Python or any kind of languages. And also it is available for both the hybrid and public clouds as well, even for on-premises also. Since this sits in Azure application, Azure, it is doesn't mean that you need to host your application in Azure to track all these stuff. Even you can host it in your own cloud, or you can have your application running in your local machine. Uh, it doesn't mean that it has to be integrated only to your web application. You can integrate with any other application, but you need to choose proper SDK for that. So it's just a matter of time of integrating a small piece of SDK, which is specifically for the language that you are choosing. So here we have chosen Node, JS along with the Angular. The only requirement is the application has to be connected with your internet. So because all these thing is captured in cloud, right? So that's the only thing. So that's why I said, so it is not only for the web application, so it is for all the background components. So either if you will be running any services in the background, or any monitoring services in the background, or if it is any on-premises application, whatever, you should be able to capture your insights using the Azure Application Insights. So again, I said, so it doesn't has to be hosted in Azure. The application doesn't has to be hosted in Azure. So application insights is a part of Azure applications. It doesn't mean that your application has to be hosted in Azure. Either it can be in any other platform, or even other cloud platforms also, or even in your on-premises server, or even from your local machine. Because if you are integrating application insights in your application, you need to test it, right? How do we test it? So usually we will be developed from your local machine. So even the app insights will monitor your local machine also. Even we are developing in a local, that doesn't mean that we are not using our server. Our local laptop or PC, whatever the thing that you're using, is acting as a local server for your application. So that is also one of the server, right? So it should be able to capture all your application insights. What is the performance and what is all the metrics. So we'll see a demo for that as well, for both local and for both the server side. So this is the basic architecture of application insights. So how it works. So basically, it whatever it can be, either it can be a web pages or client-side applications. This is usually a front-end application, or it can be an APIs, or it can be any SQL database, or any other external services, or any other background services. Whatever the things, everything will be captured in application insights. That's the main key power of this app insights. In short, it is app insights. So let's go with that way. So what it monitors, it can monitor all the HTTP requests and responses that you're sending, or if there is any errors that are occurring. For example, if any error occur on application, you usually we'll be logging it in our database, and uh, and we'll be showing some error message or something like that, right? But instead, you can do it in App Insight, so you can directly track it right away and at what time exactly, and which page the user got error, which user got error, even at the session level or at the location level, you should be able to capture. That's the power of App Insights. This chart itself shows you that if it is a client application, if there is any HTTP request to the API, or if there is any dependency calls that depends on backend services, or everything can be captured. So now we got all these insights in our App Insights. What can we do with this App Insights? That's what this section explains. So you should be able to create alerts. For example, if any specific error comes, or if any specific your server is down, or if your server is responding very slow, you can create an alert. So this alert can send you an email, or it can send you any message or something like that. So you'll be notified and you can take action on it immediately. Also, it is easily integrable with the Power BI. Power BI, as you all know, it is meant for powerful charts. So whatever the insights that you receive in your metrics that you get in App Insight, you should be able to integrate with Power BI, and you get a great chart which is easily accessible inside your either browser or in your Power BI desktops. And again, Visual Studio, if you are developing in your code, even in your IDE also, you can be able to integrate it. And the one other most powerful thing is REST APIs. App Insights, okay, you got all your data in your App Insights, either the metrics or failures or how the app is performing, everything you got it in your App Insights. If you want to build any custom applications for this, you could be able to do that also. That's why we have REST APIs available for this App Insights. For example, you are deploying multiple applications into this App Insight on a single App Insight, and you want to build a neat dashboard which is more easy for your business, so that you can use the REST APIs which will give you all the data. And the most simplest one is export. Whatever the data that you get, you'll be able to export it as an Excel or in CSV format. So it is easily traceable in your one on daily meetings or whatever. So it is easy for to track on it. Okay. What are the things that App Insights monitor for us? There are a lot of things that is involved. It's not only maybe as a dev, maybe we may have not seen all the things, but Azure app, if you use Azure apps, you will be get to know, oh, these are things that we'll be able to monitor. That kind of excitement you'll be having. Like you'll be we'll be seeing in a demo also. So it will be able to track what are the request rates. The request rates, what is the response times, and what is the failure rate. For example, failure rate in this, out of 10 requests, how many requests are failure? Out of 10 requests, how many requests are success? That should be able to monitor. And if there is any external dependencies, for example, if you have hosted your application, something called ng-keralam.azurewebsites.net, and if that ng-keralam application is depend on any other third-party application, like if it want to get COVID-19 data, and you have separate API for that, so that's ng-keralam website is depend on your COVID-19 API. So that kind of external dependencies will also be tracked, and also that response times will also be captured. So you'll be able to track which dependency is causing an error. But usually in the regular tracing with that we develop, it is hard to do all these things, right? The next one is exceptions. So whatever the exceptions happen within your server, or even if it is in the client side, usually we will capture all the exceptions in the server side, so it is easy for to log. But even if it is in the client side, like your null reference, or if there is any client variables issues, all the JavaScript errors you should be able to capture. That's called power of exceptions. And the page views, not only this metrics like response, you should be able to get the page views and the load performance. What's useful for this page views apart from this tracking this response time? Page views. If you're building on some e-commerce websites or if you're building some other business-oriented website, this page views will help you to get which page is maximum accessed by the users. So, for example, if you're building some e-commerce and you're posting one product over there, if you're building a product, you should be able to get which product page is uh, used maximum by the user. So you could add additional features on that product, or you can do some modifications in the pricings or give some offers. You can get all these stuffs, right? That's one thing you can do with page views. And also, as I said, the Ajax calls. This comes under the dependency. So if you are having any other dependency calls like Ajax call to get third-party data, so you should be able to track it within this app insights. And again the user and session counts. So normally web apps will have the sessions, right? So you should be able to track what is the unique sessions and what are the users, how many unique users have access to your website, either it's from local or it's from this any server. All these kind of details you should be the app insights will be able to capture it for you. And the performance monitors, as I said, the monitoring. So since it is once you move deployed in your production, that yeah, there will definitely a server will be involved, right? So you should be able to monitor what is the performance of your CPU memory, or what is the network usage that being used by your server. All of the things also being based on each request, you should be able to monitor. Apart from this, these are all the default events that we captured by App Insights. Suppose if you want to capture any custom metrics that you want to build it for your business, that should be also doable. The App Insights SDKs, either it's .NET or JavaScript or Python, whatever, you have your enough uh, whatever that you have your customization enabled, so you should be able to build it for yourself. And where do we see our telemetry? So basically we can track, as I said, these telemetrics you should be able to capture a lot of telemetries. I have covered few things over here like smart detection and manual alerts. So as we see in a previous slide, so we should be able to capture all your alerts, capture your detections, and you should be able to create an alert for that, like if specific error comes or if the server is coded, you should be able to trigger an alert and it will be sending an emails or some notification to you, so you can monitor this usual pattern. And the application map. So this application map will give you what are the servers involved and what are the clients involved, all thing in a single map kind of stuff. So you should be able to get your metrics and alerts over that in the application map. The profiler, if you are a web developer and if you do you should be aware that profiler, you should be able to do the profile thing in your inspect window using your network profile. So the same kind of thing you should be able to do in app insights also. So who and all accessing and what are the requests and response going in and coming out, so you should be able to track using the profiler. The snapshot debugger. So this is one other great tool. The snapshot debugger will give you live operations. So suppose if user is something doing something, and you should be able to track that live operations even along with that parameter values. It's something like debugging within our code. So it is so powerful, right? So you should be able to do some smart debugging over that in App Insights. So as I said, so this is one of the major benefit of App Insights. So we have enough REST APIs for all the App Insights that you do. So for all the metrics that we capture in our App Insights, so you should be able to get the REST API endpoints for that, and you should be able to build your own powerful dashboards or integrate in your applications based on your business needs. And as I said, apart from this REST API custom development, you should be able to integrate the same within the other Office tools like Power BI or any Excel or any other tools that support these kind of reports. You should be able to do that, and it is easy to export, so you can circulate it within your business and or over the server team. So you should be able to monitor it easily. Okay. Before we go with, let's touch something with Azure App Service as well, because App Insights, since we are talking about web applications, so app applications app service will be helpful. So Azure App Service is a kind of, if you are not aware of any Azure App Service, it's something like your local IaaS that you host in your server, which is useful to host any web application. Azure App Service is meant for that. It is one click publish, or when you click it, it go live immediately. So you can host your any application immediately, and these are the key benefits with Azure App Service. Like, you should be able to do remote debugging. It is something like a snapshot debugger we see previously. If the application is accessed online, you should be able to debug it in your Visual Studio. And cost policies, so to prevent the cross-domain application policies, and you can implement the authentications, and you can scale it on demand. So what if your application, based on your app insight, suppose if you are getting more load to your servers, then it is time for you to increase your server load to multiple instances. Suppose you are running a server with 1.7 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM, and if you want to increase it to 4 GB, you should be able to do that based on the inputs that are alerts that you get you from the app insights. So to do that, you don't need to do anything. Just go log into your app service, and you just click on the scale up, and you choose the other instance. That's it. So let's see something in action. So we have spent enough time in the demos slides. Let's see something in action. Okay. So sorry, yeah. So I have created a sample application here. For example, this is a sample application you say have created using ng-keralam commands. So this is a default application. So I have created one button here. So this button will give me errors whenever I toggle, because I have intentionally written a made the button to throw error. For example, if I click this button, I won't get anything. This is a simple toggle button, and I have created two pages to show you that how it can track the page visits as well. For example, this is a home page, and this is the events page. Welcome to ng-keralam something. So I will show you why this text is not coming and what is the error that it is throwing up. So this is a simple application, so I don't need to show you how to create this application. You just simply create a ng new app. I have not modified much of it. For example, this is one here. I have created one class over here for if you see demo class is there, and I have created one string, and I have created an object called if it is not, let me magnify it so you should be able to see. Yeah, so you can, I guess you can see the code now. So here I have just created an object, but I have not initialized that. That's how I have intentionally created and made this application to throw error. And if you see in the code, when I toggle this button, when I click on the toggle this button, I'm just trying to access the variable name of event from the class, from the object called object demo class. So if you, as I saw in the TypeScript file, I have created, I have not initialized this object. So it should throw me an error, either a null reference in the server side code, or if it, since it's client side, it will tell me that cannot able to access the property of null. It will show you some error like that. So how do we trace it? How we can know that user is getting this kind of error? Because once the application goes live, you will not be able to ask your user to go on, okay, go to this inspect and tell me if there is any error. Or if you log it in your database, you need to go to your, you will not be able to have the real-time data, and you need to do a lot of coding to get all these data and what time, which user and which location or which page this error is coming in. So that's where application insights come here to help us. So before I see how to integrate, let me show you how to create the application insights in Azure. I have set up everything because it to avoid the wasting time. So if you say I have logged into my application Azure, once you go to the search, you can see here application insights. Application insights, which is a standalone application. It is no mean that you need to create and host your application in Azure, or you need to create app service to integrate Azure application insight. It is a standalone one. Once you create this, once you log into this, you just need to click add. Yeah, it's a basic resource creation page. So you will be choosing your subscription, and if you have any resource group, you can click. I have chosen a resource group and give you a unique name for your application inside and choose the location. That's it. You are all done now. This is how simply you will be creating application inside. Now I will be opening. I have already created one application inside. So this is my overview page. The main thing that connects our Angular application and this application inside is this instrumentation key. So this key we need to integrate. It is something like a connection string. Make sure that you have encrypted your key, or you have made enough security to integrate this key in your application. For now, I will be placing it in the environment variable. I have copied this key. If you go to your application, and suppose if you created your application uh, using ng-CLI commands, you'll be able to get this environment files. So this environment files nothing but to maintain your all environment variables like this kind of keys or any configuration. Here, just create your JSON structure called app insights, and I am maintaining my instrumentation key. Or you can change it. There is no mandatory requirement that you need to maintain it here. You can maintain it anywhere based on your business needs and based on how you secure your key. And just for the time being, I'm just placing it here. And for the production also, I'm placing the same key. This is the first step to integrate the app inside. So we have created an JSON and we have placed our instrumentation key. The next step is we need to integrate our JavaScript SDK that meant for Node.js into our application. So open your package.json. Let me open that magnifier again. Yeah. So here you just need to do this application inside slash web, which is from Microsoft. You just import this, add this package into your application. Make sure you use the latest version to get all the latest updates, and install and give npm install so that it install this like missed package. Once you install this package, now let's create some logging service for this purpose. Yeah, it's hanging my machine. So let me close this. Yeah. So once you do that, you just create a service. I hope you all know what is mean by service in Angular. Let's create it as a service. So it is we are creating this monitor service as an injectable service. So here in the constructor itself, we are just initializing our application insight using our instrumentation key, and we're just enabling app root tracking. So why we need this application insights? Why we are seeing this app insights for a single page applications? Because in general, we should be able to hit our app insights tracking for the server side application, because each and every server page there will be a server call involved, so you should be able to track it easily. But in the case of single page application, if and mainly into Angular, it is all based on the routing, right? There is no server heads, and it is once the application loads, you will not be hitting any server, and you will be switching between the routes within the application. So in this kind of situation, integrating application insights within this single page applications will help you. That's why we are enabling enable app route tracking. So it will track all our routes, so that the route change, in our case we have two routes, all will be captured. And if you want to track the load page view, these are all the default implementations that you can use from this app insights that you have now installed using the npm install. Now this app insights start the event, start metric, track exceptions, start the stack trace, everything it does automatically. You see, I have implemented all this, but I have not called this anywhere else. It just do it automatically. The only thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you have incorporated this monitoring service within your app component and whatever the component that you have created. I will share you, Sundaram, and the community team will share you this code, so you should be able to use it. So we just initialize this. Now let's see how do we integrate this monitoring service. So the first thing is you need to add it in your provider, like this. Just import it in your app module and add it in your provider. Since this is a service, we need to inject it. So that's why we are adding it. And I'm just simply injecting it within my constructor of the component. I have injected it all the in all the components so that it is easy to track it. But you see, this variable is showed as dim. It is not highlighted. So that means I have not used it anywhere else. So by automatically this single service is capturing my all my requests and responses and what are the failures, everything is captured. The only one additional thing that I have done is I have captured the errors globally. So if you see, I have created one error handling, which is not a part of app insights, it is a part of Angular. You see error handler. I have implemented the handler, so wherever the errors happen within my application, it will come to this place. And here I'm just overriding my log exception method, which I created here. So this is the only step I'm doing additionally. Apart from the tracking the event or tracking the root pages, everything is done automatically by this integrating this service inside your application. You see, that's how we have integrated App Insights. We'll see all thing in a demo. I will overview that again for you. So first step we are doing is we just go and create the App Insights and we copied our instruction key and we go into our environment. So we just place our instruction key, instrumentation key in our App Insights. That's the second step. Third step will be we'll be doing our import, integrating our node module package. This is going to be our third step. And our fourth step will be like creating a separate service for this. Here it is. And overwrite all the functionality. Suppose if you want to overwrite, you can overwrite it, else it will track it automatically for you. And our fifth step will be importing it in the app modules and the app components, which act as the root and bootstrap modules for us. That's it. We are integrated our app insights here. Let's see it in the demo how it is being captured. I'm already running this application. So if you see, here I have already placed a button. Now when I toggle, as I see, I have intentionally thrown the error. So that's why I'm not able to see this title. Suppose if you want to see that also, yeah, mark it as I'm thinking of .NET. That's why I put equal to. Okay, fine. So here now I have initialized this. Now I will not get that error. Let's see. Since I'm using CLI, it will automatically load my page. I think, okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm doing it in this file. Actually, the code is in home file. Here is my code. So just remove it from there. Don't even need this because it is not in use. Yeah, all my code is in this home file. I will refresh my page. Now, if you see, I get the toggle because now there is no error. Now, let me revert the code. Yeah, it's reverted. Now I'm getting error because I'm not seeing my value here. Now, if you see, we have done with this first step and we have created application inside and we copied our code integrated within our Angular application. Okay, let's get into our app inside. So first, let's see the failures. Yeah, where is the failure? Yeah. Okay. So this is the as I said, there are a lot of metrics and how where you can track your metrics. I'm talking about this slide. So where do I see my telemetry? This is the place where you can see all your telemetrics. If you once you open your app insights, here I named it as ng-keralam, you can see all your telemetric options available here in your left pan, like application map, smart detection, which I set for alerts, and live metrics, and if what is the availability of the system, and what are the failures that are occurring, and what is the performance of the system. Everything you can track it here. And if you see, this is the application heat map. So as I said, you should be able to track your local host machine also. If you see, this is my local machine, and I'm running in a port called 4200 4200. That port is being tracked as a server, and this is my ng-keralam client app which is running. And I also hosted the same application in Azure, in using Azure App Service. And for that also, I'm using the same app insights because it's the same application. Where it is? Yeah, here. That's why it is detecting that also. So this application map, that's why I said the application insight is not limited to one application. You should be able to track it multiple, but you need to differ it differ it well, and you need to be able to uh, track all the instances separately. Okay, let's see what error that we get. If you see, it detected what are the views, how many views are there, and what is the whatever how many errors that it has shown. It has shown 95 errors. I have tried that much times. So if you see, the my error got detected here. So the problem ID is cannot read the property name of event of undefined. So you see in our code, right? Where is that HTML? Yeah, name of event cannot read the property name of event from undefined if because I have not defined this. That so it captured my error. I have not done anything apart from integrating this app insights. So this is one power in. So if you want to investigate more, you can click this failure section. So where you will see more details like which component the error has occurred in which tag. If you see this, it have given us detailed information like what are the top 5 browsers that this error is throwing. Since I'm using only my it is running from my local, it shows only the Chrome as an error. So this is how we track our exceptions. Now let's see. Yeah. Now let's see the other features in this app insights. So this I have created only one error. That's why it shows only one error. I don't have enough time to showcase you all the things, and it is all live. So whenever you want, you can click refresh, and if you want to filter any metrics based on the date and time, you can do it. These kind of feature is available in all the metrics. Let's see one by one right now. I will not take much time. I think I have 10 more minutes. So that's how application map works, and you can change the views as well. It's a nice graph. Also, if you see the dependencies, how what is the which is causing the performance low, how many time it take to respond. These are the dependencies because I am not using any this JS and all, but internally maybe to push our data to this app insights. That app insights plugin which are using is calling this one. That is also been tracked. Now let's see the next option, smart detection. Smart detection I have not enabled, but if you enable the smart detection, you should be able to create your custom alert for the smart detection, and you can write some rules like if the page is slow down, or if you want to in any other case, for example, if the any dependency injection errors occurs, if the any abnormal issues, in that case, if you want, you can write a rule over here. And the live metrics, so this will show us the live metrics. If your application is in use, it can show you the live data here. Let's see that also. Now I'm just accessing it in live, and if you see, you can in live, you should be able to see the what is the process time of the CPU to process this request. and what is the server name that it is being used in you if you hosted it in your Azure or wherever the app service. Then it will show you all the live metrics over here. And the next one is, yeah, before that, so I will show you from where this apps are being accessed. Let's take this one. Okay. Okay. Now you should be able to see the availability time also. But this is also, these kind of features are not enabled for this free subscription. So uh, let's go to failures. Yeah. Now in failure, if you see there are two options enabled and server and browser. If you're monitoring anything in the server level, you can switch that view. And if you want to monitor anything in the browser client side level, you can switch it to browser. Since I'm doing everything in my browser, see it track all my requests and responses. And if there is any failures, why it comes under dependency, because this is an ajax call. As I said, this is an ajax call that is being made, I think it is made in the background in the hello world app that is being created by CLI command. So it is the dependency of this application. That's why it is captured under dependency section. And if there is any exceptions, it comes under the exceptions tab. You can see it right away from here. And at what time, what is the count of this exception. If there is any page view count you want to show, you should be able to see here all the session count and user count, everything you should be able to track it from here itself. And how many counts that it have hit. For this error occurred 16 times and this occurred this many times. And if you see, this is from which browsers and what is, either if it is captured in the mobile or it is any other browser, it is capturing all the steps. Why now it is displaying mobile also? This is because I have published this application and I have given to my teammates, so they have also opened this one. That's why it is showing this as mobile, because for now I am accessing it only from the Chrome browser, right? You should be able to dig it more. Okay, now let's see the performance section. Yeah, performance section. So here where you will be able to monitor the time limit that it taken. For example, this is a get first call. It takes 408 milliseconds, and this home it takes uh, some 2 milliseconds. If you see, it is server and browser. It's showing me both. Now I'm just switching it to browser. Let's see. See, it is tracking all my pages also. Usually for single page application, it is hard to track this much level of inputs. That's why this we are using going with that SDK for meant for single page kind of application, like using the node modules. It tracking each insight at the root level. So I'm tracking my home. I have only two roots. It's tracking all my hits, right? But generally we'll be able to do it in our server applications. Also, it is tracking from where the hit is being come. For example, if you see, this is coming my area where I'm Tirupur and using my Windows machine, and it is been Windows 10 I'm using. And if you see the other entry, this is coming from Trishur. I guess it is from Sundaram or something, because he's from this Kerala. I have given the link to him as well. And it is coming from Android Chennai. I'm not using Android phone to open up this link. This is coming from Android Chennai. I have given it to my teammate, so he is accessing. So you see all these insights being captured for our application. What we have done is just a matter of integrating that SDK, then it is capturing all our data. If you want to dig into more for all these, for example, from who is accessing and what is the page that they are accessing, you can click on this, go to details button. It will show you more information, and you can see this application is being captured. This demo AZ, all the things. If you want to look at the specific request and how it is being processed, see, this is processed from Chrome mobile. I'm just clicking on this arrow. it will give me the end-to-end transaction details like complete profiling, what are the page, in which page it is being accessed, and what are the related items that is being related to this page. So what is the IP it's been tried to access, and what is the timestamp, which all these details will be tracked for you. Now, okay. Now we have seen all these stuffs like again to summarize, we have seen the application map and we have seen the detection alerts and we have seen what is the live metrics, and we have seen how the failures be detected and what action you can take on it, and what is server and browser. Your browser hits will be captured here, and your server changes if there is. I have not integrated any server because this is a client side application. I have not made any server or API calls, and I have not integrated that server API things. So it is the data is empty here, and we have seen that performance, how we can monitor the performance. Again, it is based on the server and browser, and we have seen how we can track at the root level also. Now these are all segregated into different sections, right? How we can see it as a clubbed one. That's how, if you go to your app insights overview page in your application dashboard. It's taking time. It's taking time. I have already opened this. I know this kind of things will happen due to internet. Yeah, pressing also taking time. Okay, we'll see this page. So this is the application dashboard where you can see the app insights, ng-keralam app insights complete dashboard. So where you can see all the things like what are the failed records, how many unique users are there. You see 47 unique users based on the sessions that is being counted, and how many server exceptions are there, dependency call failures, that Ajax call failures, how many process failures are there, what is the available memory. See, I have some 781 MB available memory. It is based on the application plan that I have chosen. And if you see server response time is also available, how many failed requests, what are the failures. If you click on each time, each item, it will take you the detailed page again that we have seen already. Now, let's go to dashboard again. Yeah, now we got it. See, this is updated few seconds ago. Number of servers it is been running, I have published in only one server, and the usage, how many users are there, what are the browsers that been used, page load time, breakdown time, everything, all this data. If there is any browser exceptions, we have got some. We have intentionally created that browser exception, right? It is also captured here. Everything will be appear in this single screen. If you so if you want to break it down, you can click on any chart. It will take you. It will take you there. So that's it for today, guys. So we have seen how to integrate the app insights and how we can monitor the data for the single page applications like Angular with a simple integration using a node module and using the node module and this app insights key. I'm done for the day. If you have any queries, you can ask now. We are open for the queries now. Suhas, do we got any queries?
Can you able to hear me? Jayakumar?
Yeah.
Hello.
Do we have any queries? Did we receive
No,
any queries?
no, Jayakumar. I think there are no questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there are no questions. I think. Yeah, thanks for the session, Jayakumar. I think we got a good idea on like how to add app insights. Uh, I think app insights is a kind of good thing to monitor your application. I guess it gives an overall insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Thanks for that,
Yeah.
Jayakumar.
Yeah, thank you, Suvas and Sundaram, for organizing this creative event. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, Sundaram, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. So, uh, thanks, Ramesh and Jayakumar, for your awesome session. We all got better ideas about Angular materials and adding Azure insights to our application. And before ending up this session, we'd like to announce a few things from us. As I said in the welcome note, Talkify is our new community and we will organize various events on various technologies. We also have our meetup group, which you can see in the screen right now. And you can just go and join the group and get instant updates about our future upcoming events as well. The second announcement is our August month ng-keralam event. So we have speakers. They are Guhan Armuham and Agil are our speakers. And the event is on 29th of August. And one special announcement we would like to share is our community friend Uday. He is organizing Angular meetup. The community name is Angular High. He's also organizing monthly Angular events. So this is his meetup account. So please kindly join there and also get instant updates from his community. And last but not least, I would like
Uh,
to say thanks, big. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, so no, actually, like I forgot to take the community actually. So his channel is Ask Uday. So this is his channel. He'll organize the respective Angular meetups in this link. Like you can see, he has organized various meetups. So in the meetup group, it's Angular online meetup. Let me show you the respective meetup thing. So we have mentioned this in this subscription. Just a second. Show more. Okay, he hasn't mentioned about the meetup group here. Okay, so it's I think Angular online event. So I'm currently in another profile, so I'm unable to see the group. So it's Angular online event. So he'll conduct events every month. So you can also follow him for Angular updates here.
I think I have shared with you.
You
Yeah,
have
you
shared the
just
screen
no, I just shared the message. Check your private message. I have shared the
uh,
link.
in the chat. Okay.
Not in the senior senior.
Uh, Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So it's Angular online meetup.
This is a few uh, announcement from us, and thanks to everyone for joining this event. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.